Hi, guys. Debbie here with Wrestling in 60 Seconds. I'm here to give you. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm going to sneeze. I'm sorry if I do. Um, Details about the NXT house show. What a night it was. First of all, I always bring donuts to the house shows. I do it for the staff, the talent. And so I dropped off the donuts. As I'm coming out, I hear Tank Ledger saying, "Miss Debbie," and I'm like, "Hey!" And he was like, "Hold up!" I'm like, and he comes up and he hugs me, and I said, "I brought donuts," and he said, "Oh my gosh," he said, "I'm so sweaty." I said, "That's okay," and I told him that I had met his missus, and that happened the last time that we were at the PC. We were walking out from the PC. We were leaving early before the show ended, and she would say, "Hey, Debbie," and I was like, "Hey," and she had Tank on her cell phone, and she was getting ready, I guess, to meet up with him and for them to leave as well. And nicest person you ever want to see. And he was telling me that I was telling him that I had met her and that she was the nicest person. He told me that, she used to wrestle for like a year with NXT and then she moved on to something else. I'm like, she is so nice. You guys are so cute. And he just blushed. He said, "Yeah." And anyway, so we go back, we leave, and we go grab some dinner, and we come back, and we find our seats, and I'm like, "Well, I'm going to head to the ladies' room real quick." I go in the ladies' room, and none other than Bailey is fixing her makeup. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, Bailey!" And yes, I know that's not your real name. I said, "But I just have to tell you," I said, "I love your character." I said, "I love what they're doing with you and the Vanity Project and Jackson Drake." And I'm like, "It's the old Eddie in China," and she was like, "Yes, yes, yes, you know." I'm like, "Yeah, I was there, I was there," and watched the whole thing. And I said, "I love it, and the fans love it." She was like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yes." So keep doing what you're doing. And she was like, "Thank you so much. It means so much to me." And so, of course, I go do what I need to do, and I come out. And when I get out into the hallway, here comes Gina Parker, and I'm like, "Hello, Jana." And she was, "Hey there." So she goes, and I get back to our seats, and the Q&A starts. They had Jana Parker, they had Noam Dar, and then they had Romeo Morello. I have a hard time with his last name. Anyway, so our question to them, well, to Romeo, was, how did he like making the commercial with Cody Rhodes? And he said that he was so nervous because Cody is one of the idols that he liked in wrestling. And he said one of the things that was so hard was when he kicks the drink machine, the Minute Maid is supposed to fall. And every time he kicked the machine, it wouldn't fall. So they had to keep And so Cody said, "Really kick it." And he said they had to take multiple takes, but he was so nervous. He was so afraid that he was going to mess something up. But that was a moment that an experience he'll never forget. And of course, Deborah had her picture taken with all three, and I did post that on the community page. Also, it was odd when the show started, and I'll tell you why. Because this was the first house show since everybody moved up that we had been to, and there were so many people that were wrestling, both females and males. I had no idea who they were, none. And Blake Howard was actually doing the announcing, and I couldn't understand. I think it just had to do with their system or whatever. Uh, Understand what names he was these people were using, and it was pretty bad too. Excuse me, I think I'm going to sneeze again. Anyway, that because I was sending results to locked results and bodyslam.net, and so I was having to say like Kiana Carver versus question mark and send photos, and a couple of them, they couldn't even, they didn't even know who they were. And it just seemed odd because, like, I know that they're having to start from, like, basically the beginning and build storylines with these new people, and they're doing a good job. I'm not knocking NXT at all, but it was just the first time in, I can't even remember, where I sat there and, like, who are these people? Anyway, it was a great show. It was, to me, it seemed to be a short show too. I think it started after 7:30, and then it was over about 9:40. And they had like a 15-20 minute uh, uh, break in between the show. So I think it was kind of a short show myself. Not criticizing it. I just, that's the way it seemed to me. They are supposed to be back on the 22nd of August, and they are going to be in Jacksonville June 13th. I'm going to try to make those shows. I don't, I can't say for sure because you never know what happens. But life happens, right? So, but that was my experience. It was just, we got a chance to talk to a lot of people. We had a great time, um, but it was like for the new people, it was different. I want to thank you for watching, subscribing, and until the next time, bye for now.